Max, what to make of this decision by BNP to pay out these bonuses? Echoes of Goldman Sachs last month?
Well, I think BNP wants us all basically to toss their salad. That's their game plan. Let's keep in mind that 2 years ago, on August 9th, was the beginning of a staged, controlled financial terrorist demolition of the world's financial system when BNP announced that they couldn't value bonds in their books, these subprime loans. That started the credit crash, the controlled demolition of the global banking system 2 years ago. This it will go down in history as basically the 9th of August, or 8/9, similar to 9/11. This is when they started this controlled demolition.
That's Max Keiser on the main national news channel in France. He's got a show on Press TV. He's starting a show on Russia Today, huge worldwide. Paul Watson has that on his broadcast TV in Sheffield. Give me an idea how big Russia Today is. And he's also done the BBC TV show, a very busy person. I'm going to be on this week's Press TV show with him, so always honored to be there. Before we go back to Max Keiser and ask about his upcoming TV appearances, he'll be with us 20 minutes into the next hour. Starting next segment, we're going to take phone calls for Max Keiser at 1-800-259-9231. He could talk about a whole host of issues, but he can't talk about chupacabras and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the T-shirt being made right now. I had the idea Monday when I noticed that image of Obama socialism was going viral. I knew that it was a hot image because it just took him and really bared his soul and broke the back that was ready to be broken of this illusion of him as this sweetheart that loves you. And I think the image of him as a psychopathic criminal is much closer to the reality. But again, he's just a front man. So we made these T-shirts. They're selling like hotcakes. I'm very glad it'll get the word out because they have good messages on the back. They have very, very important messages on the back, like wake up before it's too late, stop the criminal, end the Fed. There's 8 different T-shirts, 8 different variants, Obama fascism, ObamaInfoWars.com, Obama New World Order. And I'm sending a crew out right now to make a viral YouTube video where I'm going to have my crew plaster Barack Obama Infowars.com posters everywhere. We're having a $1,000 prize. I'll announce it next Friday. You just make a YouTube video, you go out, make a bigger poster, smaller poster, and you just say Obama Infowars.com. You can mix in a little Obama fascism because I think that's closer to what he is. Socialism's bad enough, as if we're going to take money from one group and give it to another. But this is $30 for the bank, $1 for the people, as Max Keiser and others have broken down. So we're going to have this contest launching today up on Infowars.com to print off the flyers on the Joker Obama posters to go viral page. That's the name of the page that has all these files that you can print off in color, black and white. I don't care. The winner will be the person that the most inventively puts out the most posters in the most public places. So just show that in a 10-minute or less YouTube video. Everybody make them. The word gets out. Huge viral event. And let's start today with the Obama poster bomb all over the country, everywhere. I'm going to work on films today, do some interviews. Then I'm going to go home and see my children. When I'm driving back tonight, I'm going to get out with staplers and glue at different power boxes and poles, and I'm going to put up at least 10 of these. So, walk the walk. I certainly talk the talk, also walk the walk. So get these off Infowars.com, get them out to everybody, and don't forget we're also selling the T-shirts because they're trying to say it's racist, it's evil, it's bad, you're not allowed to lampoon him, he's a god. I love taking their deity, their royalty, and showing what he really is, a joker, a scammer. I mean, Max Keiser, do you think it's unfair and mean to put up a joker, A, and B, isn't it our right anyways, whether it's nice or not, to show the godlike creature in whatever way we wish, or should it be illegal, as some Democratic operatives are calling for?
Well, look, Alex, I grew up during the Nixon era, and the amount of vitriol spouted toward Nixon, as you can imagine, was quite vehement. The parodies and the things that were done were extreme, and because the country was angry. And why are they angry? Because they don't have a job, because the economy is sinking, because the president seems to curry favor with the Wall Street banks, and he has done no reformation of the banking system whatsoever. If anything, he's given them more
power. And the people, unfortunately, have no power except through, historically, the people have always resorted to pamphleteering and through parody and through any means necessary that is cheap but carries their message. And this is just what happens when an economy is concentrated, wealth is by the fewer and fewer percentage, and it leaves the vast majority face down in the mud. And this just creates this dynamic. And the way to stop it is to address this unbelievable power grab of the money and wealth in the United States by the select few, and start to engage in some measures that will restore balance. The problem with these banks on Wall Street is that as the power grab continues, there's less and less competition for them. And people say, well, people are just envious that Goldman Sachs is making a lot of money, which is completely incorrect. What is disturbing is that there are no competitors for Goldman Sachs. Why doesn't Obama and Geithner and Bernanke, why don't they start a few new banks that will challenge Goldman Sachs?
No, everything has to be fed into the mega bank at the expense of the people, and that's what John D. Rockefeller I said. He said competition is a sin, and it is a sin to these mega monopoly capitalists.
Competition is the lifeblood of what's called the American dream. The purpose of the government is to allow, like an empire at the ball game, is so that there can be fair competition. That's what a government can do. They play the umpire at the ball game, and then we'll see who competes the best. Some people are talented, some people are really hardworking, and you have the ability through sheer hard work to make it in that economy. But if the umpire is working for the banks, and there are no laws, there are no rules, then the people in the country are going to rise up and say, you know what, this is bull BS. We want to compete. The people want to work. They want to compete, but the banks on Wall Street won't let them. And that blockage has got to be removed from the economy. There needs to be a reintroduction of competition in the United States. And the way to do that is to remove the egregious monopoly of everything financial. Every loan, every price on every exchange is totally manipulated at this point, and it's done so thousands of times a minute. And they're just stealing. They've got, like I said at the top of the interview, they've got a siphon stuck into the pot of money that is America's wealth, and they're just siphoning it out with no competition whatsoever. They're just taking it. They're just stealing it without any intrusion from any regulator whatsoever. Now, how is that going to foster an economy of hardworking, diligent, moral people?
Great points, Max Keiser. Did you?
Look,
well, on Monday,
the front page of the Financial Times: Wall Street profits from Fed roll. This is on the front page of the Financial Times. What does this mean? The Federal Reserve tells Wall Street what they're buying and selling before they buy and sell. Wall Street then steps in. They quote-unquote front run, which means they place orders ahead of the government, and they make money without taking any risks.
So it's a rigged inside economy, insider trading now publicly. Crime is just absolutely mainstream now.
Insider trading, crime, and thievery are listed on the exchange. You can buy them every single day. It's a listed open sewer of corruption that they're just buying and selling on the exchange, and they're basically taunting people and saying, look, you're either with us or against us. That's why I have that site, gulagwealthfund.com, which has all the companies that are profiting from this gulag casino state. So I've got the various military contractors and the various banks. And if you want to participate in the gulag wealth industry, you should buy the shares in these stocks, because you can watch your country go into the mud as well. And you'll be the richest guy in the world, but you will have lost your country. So that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to become rich in exchange for your wealth? Are you willing to give up your country? That's the question everyone has to ask themselves.
But at a certain point, they destroy the standard of living and turn all the Western countries into sewers. But I guess they don't care as long as they're the king monkey sitting on top of the pile of dung. It's just amazing. Did you see where the White House, we actually broke this on Monday, it's now been picked up nationally, the White House is asking its people to report anyone that talks bad about the health care plan. And then back during the campaign, they had cops in Missouri going, we're going to arrest you if we decide you lie about Obama. And all these youth brigades and youth corps with all these big Republicans running them for Obama, like David Gergen.
Well, because the business of the casino gulag model, the supporting the cops in this case, and the surveillance and the invasive technologies 24/7. This is the only business. You know, here's an interesting point. If you look at the gross domestic product of America for the last quarter, and they say that it was. The figures were up plus or minus 1% from a year earlier, and they were saying, see, the economy is on some kind of growth track, or it's not decelerating as fast as we said it would. If you subtract the military from the durable hard goods number, the military component, it's more than 50%.